everybody. It is Marcia and Michelle, and we are back on another Friday night for a ghostly gab and random thoughts. I do want to say straight up, though, that we've been having some disconnection issues. We've had a lot of rain.
Yes.
A lot of rain the last week or so, so we're pretty well flooded. So if we lose connection, don't worry. It has been coming right back up.
Right back, absolutely.
So, yeah, so it shouldn't disconnect us, but, in case it does. I want to thank you all for hanging out with us on a Friday night. We know there's a lot of other things that you could do, especially on a holiday weekend. So thank you so much for hanging with us. Can you click on that, please?
I can.
Thanks.
She gave me control today.
She has control because, I'm I'm challenged today. I'm challenged. If you will, share us out to your friends or family or folks you think might be interested in what we're talking about. If you are watching us on the replay, we appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to hang out with us for a little while. Our topic this evening is near-death experiences and how they or do they have any impact on your psychic ability.
Sure.
Or lack thereof. I don't know.
There we go.
So that's the question. It is 4th of July before we get started. It is 4th of July weekend. And I do want to say, take a moment, if you will, this July 4th to think about our, our patriots that made this all possible, those that fought back in the war. And I'm talking about the 1770 war for independence. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
So I have a great-great-great-great-great-grandfather that was a patriot and actually fought in the war. And it's just amazing to me how, and it's no different than today, how back then you had a bunch of farmers and merchants and folks untrained, didn't have any supplies, took on the biggest army in the world.
Yes.
And won.
Country, yes.
And won. So anyway, that's what July 4th is all about. So
celebrating our independence.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hello, Linda. Hello, Bev. We see that you're on. I see others are on as well, but if you don't make a comment, I don't know who you are. So if you will, just say hello to us. I want to say thanks to our military, besides our patriots. Hello to our military, and thank you for all that you do to keep us safe and enable us to do what we're doing here.
Absolutely.
So, and I'll tell you, I'm a little thrown off this evening. I'm going to share something with you that I told Michelle I wasn't going to share, but I am, because she's supposed to be my friend, right? And I had a situation the other day.
Oh, seriously? Hey.
And I had a situation the other day, and my friend didn't step in and help me. Yeah. So I was teaching a course, right, virtually, and I was in my office, and I wear my mother's old sweater because my office is really cold. And
it's an old lady sweater.
It is an old lady sweater because my mother was an old lady, right?
And apparently so are you, because you're wearing it.
And when I go to work, I kind of pin my hair back, right? Because it falls in my face. Well, when I get to work, I take those out because, again, that's a little old lady thing, and I don't do that.
Usually.
I did not do that for this training. So there I am in front of, 100,000 people, little old lady sweater on and my hair pinned back. And she let me go looking like that. So
if I had actually told her and sent her a message, she'd have been flustered and beside herself. So I couldn't win either way. I waited a week to tell you.
Yeah. After the training's already done and everybody's talking about, my little old lady sweater and my hair and how old I look, but I'm just saying. So if you see me looking like a little old lady, please tell me before it's too late.
Linda, I'm not sure fabulous would have been the words for that look. All I could go is, oh my gosh, she looks like a little old lady. She's not a little old lady, but she looks it today.
I was looking at it, and I taught a good course. I'm telling you, I was on my A game.
You were.
If you could get past the fact that I was a little old lady, I don't know.
or the fact that you and I were helping teach a course together.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So anyway, enough about that. Our topic again this evening is near-death experiences and what effect, if any, does that have on the paranormal or our ability to connect with those on the other side?
Or not.
Or not. Or not. And hey, Rick, I'm glad that you're on. So Sean was going to join us this evening because he actually has had near-death experiences, and he was going to share his experiences with us. But darn him, he chose to take the family to see fireworks. Can you believe it?
Jeez Louise.
Oh my God, I'm talking about him and he's on.
Shame on
Hi,
you.
Sean.
Shame on you.
But yes, how dare you take the family and do family time? But anyway, he is going to join us on another Ghostly Gab or two or three or half a dozen. So they're having a good time, I'm assuming. So
Of course.
the thing about near-death experiences that I don't know, I guess it's my little old lady personality. I didn't realize that people that we've like actually been studying this and like doing legitimate scientific studies on this for decades.
Yes. Yes.
Decades.
Yeah. And I mean, it's like, and not just small, unknown, obscure universities. I mean, there's been large studies done. What was University of Virginia did one?
I'm going to talk about one from the University
California.
of Michigan here.
Yeah, so there's been some serious studies, and more so, I think, in the last several years. But yeah, a lot of studies have been done. A lot of them from the scientific point of view. But we're going to try to take the little twist and go down a small rabbit hole to make it our little niche.
Yes, because that's just what we do. So the study I want to, well, first of all, I want to ask those of you that are on, if you don't mind answering the question, have any of you had a near-death experience or know someone closely that has had one? Because I do. My niece has had a near-death experience. I'm not going to name her because she prefers not that information not be known.
And you have a slew of nieces, so they're safe.
Yeah, I got a ton of nieces, but I do have a niece that had a near-death experience when she was 9, and it was brought on by poison ivy of all things.
I can believe that.
Yeah, I mean, she had poison ivy so bad that it literally stopped her heart. And
my son, if he gets it, he has to be taken to the doctor and be given a shot. I have not. The closest I have come is when I was younger and before I realized we weren't supposed to believe in all this stuff. Whoops. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but I could see a vehicle and say, they're going to cause an accident or there's something bad. And it was all fun and games until the cops showed up and said, what do you know about this? So that was a long time ago in another state.
Yes, a long time ago in a faraway galaxy. All right, Bev, so I see your comment. Sometimes you don't realize you have had one. You feel different, but you still have to figure it out. Very true. And so I see that your sister has had one as well. And I think, to your point, Bev, I think sometimes it doesn't have to be, and this is my opinion, please, you guys share yours as well, but I don't think it has to actually be a death experience. And I think you had a study that was talking about that too. You can be on the verge of death.
Yeah, and the way that this particular study, it's from, and I'll give the article it's Scientific American, and what they described as a near-death experience is, hold please. They are triggered during singular life-threatening episodes when the body is injured by blunt trauma, a heart attack, asphyxia, shock, and so on. Something completely unexpected is essentially what they're talking about. And so it goes on to say about thousands of survivors have touch and go situations, leaving their damaged bodies, which I found that to be an interesting phrase. And and sometimes hovering, sometimes seeing the light. So that's something that they all seem to have in common. So yeah, so that was this particular article in Scientific American.
Yes.
Excuse me.
COVID as well, Bev. Absolutely. Any serious illness that puts you,
In that
in that
position,
life or death,
I mean,
thing.
it's almost like the fight or flight.
Yes. Which would not be what happened to me at Randolph County, because I didn't have the fight or flight there when I saw the apparition.
You froze.
So I was not in a near-death experience there, but
not to be taken lightly.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. And Linda, I see almost rolling your car in heavy traffic on the way to work. All of those things, I think when we're talking about what we're talking about tonight, when we say near-death experience, I think we're talking about all of those things, not just flatlining.
Correct.
Not just flatlining, because you can see, things, your life flash before your eyes. You can have that, what's the word I'm looking for? Life-changing event. Incident. Coming from a trainer. Yeah. Incident.
Events are scheduled. I don't want to schedule my near-death experience. Thank you very much.
So I do want to talk to you.
Not bats.
Yeah. Because I found this study and I found it very interesting. Not really surprising to me, but interesting.
Okay.
And it's called, now this is the name of the study for all of you folks that want to know what's really happening. And I see Wendy is in Myrtle Beach. Hello. And
Watch the weather.
And I think, Sean, you just came back from Florida, did you not? You were down there a good long time. Okay, so this report is called Increase in Psychic Phenomenon Following Near-Death Experiences. And the study was conducted by Bruce Grayson, who happens to be an assistant professor of psychiatry and the chief of psychiatric emergency services at the University of Michigan. Right, so that's his credentials. And he did this in 2017. And he reviewed 14 studies on near-death experiences that had already been done. And the oldest one went back to 77, but they were mostly late 70s into the early 80s. But there were 14 studies done. I guess it was pretty much in the news then, because they were doing a lot of studies on it. Anyway, what he found was, well, first of all, let me tell you how the study was done. The study involved 69 folks, male and female. There were 40 women and there were 29 men. And the ages ranged from 24 to 91. And all of these folks were members of the International Association for Near-Death Studies. Who knew that was a thing?
I did not.
Who knew? They call it IANS. And they all had near-death experiences, obviously. And IANS, for those of you who want to know, is an international organization whose aim is to promote research into near-death phenomena, specifically to disprove any theoretical interpretation of a near-death experience. So they don't want to say, in theory, they want to be able to say, this is the fact of the matter.
From a scientific standpoint.
From a scientific standpoint. So that's who these folks are. And, who knew that there was an association for them? So what they found after they studied these 69 folks was that out-of-body experiences, encounters with apparitions, and perceptions of the aura that's around folks was significantly increased by these people. right? So they had more out-of-body experiences, they saw more apparitions, and they could see the auras
Okay.
more frequently, which I thought was
So my question would be, because
cool.
it's what I'm.
that's
I
what you're
do.
here. Yeah, why you're here.
How do they know these people are telling the truth? Is it an honor system? Because obviously the scientists probably couldn't see the same thing they were seeing. So was it expected of them to be able to see these things, or just curious?
The study didn't say, but I wonder if it was just that folks reported it.
So was it like a blind study, since they're all part of the same association? They kind of knew what to expect or not, or, all of a sudden it's just, well, here's what's going on. Let's see, before this experience, after this experience. I mean, inquiring minds want to know. I have all sorts of questions.
She's got some good questions here, folks. I don't have answers to them. Now I'm going to have to dig a little bit deeper. These studies, which means I'm going to have to go through all 14 studies, by the way, to find out what their methodology was. Thank you.
You had nothing else to do.
Yeah, I got nothing else to do. So I'll look through all 14 studies to see what the methodology is. I guess I probably should have done that before. I apologize. I should know that answer.
Oops.
But what they also found, or what these studies collectively found, was that profound spiritual, mystical, or transcendental experiences were also reported by these folks to have occurred significantly more after their near-death experience than before their near-death experience.
So they asked the question before and after.
Apparently.
Okay. It was probably a prerequisite to be in the study. You had to have had one.
Oh, well, yeah. Didn't you?
Yes, I heard you.
Okay, because I can repeat it.
I was paying attention.
Okay, because I can repeat it if I need to. Okay. Okay, what they also found was attempts to analyze dreams for insight and guidance and the routine practice of meditation and yoga also rose significantly after the near-death experiences, which would stand to reason. If you had this profound experience, you're going to try to analyze things and try to get guidance and insight and meditate, and you're going to try to make that connection more, I would think.
Well, I think it would also just be more self-aware.
Could be that.
Because this is something that hadn't happened before. Now you're seeing more things. So now we need to recenter ourselves, pay attention, those kind of things.
That's why I keep you around. Okay, moving on to
I
the
had
study.
to giggle at Bev's comment, though.
Bev, what are you saying? If I went out of my body, do you
think I'd get back into the same one?
We're all with you, sister. We're all with you, sister. So anyway, that's what this study found collectively through these other 14 studies. So I guess all 14 studies were pretty much on the same page, more or less.
Just through different decades and people and such. Okay.
Yeah. But now, surprisingly, what did not change after the near-death experience was communication with the dead. They didn't have any more or any less than they had before they had their experience. Memories of previous lives. They didn't have any more memories before or after. Deja vu. I swear I have deja vu all the time.
We had that conversation, but that's another topic.
That's another topic. I have deja vu all the time.
Deja vu? Glitches in the matrix.
Yeah. And as far as, and also residing in a haunted house, they didn't gravitate more towards haunted houses than not before or after the near-death experience. The other thing too that was very interesting was that visits to psychics and the use of psychedelic drugs also did not increase.
Interesting. I wonder if any experienced, and I'm not wanting this to sound flippant, but if they brought hitchhikers back.
I don't know. So anyway, if you guys are interested here, let me just show it to you. This is my little study. Not my little study, but the little study I'm talking about. You can Google it.
So did you know that there is a famous person that has had a near-death experience and actually wrote about it?
I do not.
Ernest Hemingway.
Did he now?
Ernest Hemingway. And as a matter of fact, he adopted his near-death experience for his famous short story, The Snows of Kilimanjaro.
How many of you knew that? I didn't know that.
Useless information.
The other thing too, the movie Heaven is Real was based on a near-death experience. I don't know how many of you saw that, but you saw that, didn't you?
God is real.
God is real. I'm sorry. God. I thought it was Heaven is Real.
Heaven is real.
Heaven is real. God is real.
I'll have to look at it because I know that was the text. And he actually, that movie touched on the other young lady that had a near-death experience. And whereas this little boy was sharing things that he had no idea about and describing it, at the end, they talked about a young girl who painted what she saw. And the little boy saw one of her paintings one day and said, "That's him. That's who I saw."
Interesting.
Heaven is real. Good job, Sue. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so what else do we need to talk about as far as near-death experiences?
I've not had one. I am not aware of anybody I know that has had one. We were really depending on you, Sean, but that's okay. We understand.
Yes.
I know someone that may have one here shortly.
Yes, because what you guys cannot see is right behind the camera.
Nothing.
Okay, it's back.
Yeah, so what you can't see is right behind the camera is Chucky making faces at us.
Holding
So,
one of the puppy dogs.
holding one of the dogs. So anyway, we dropped off, but now we're back. So, all right. So
There, Chuck's waving.
About time I got on this thing.
So, all right. That's all we know about near-death experiences.
Just tell everybody.
Absolutely,
I've never been
Sean.
invited on.
Yes. How would you like to do that? Do you want me to call you? Are you in a place where I can call you? Could you grab my cell phone?
Sure. Where's that?
On the table? Because I can call you and you can share it with us, or you can type it.
We don't want to interfere with family time, though.
No,
We really don't.
No,
We're just giving you a hard time.
I was just ragging on you
Because we can, you know.
because I didn't think you were going to be here. Thank you. We can try. Okay.
Special effects.
All
There we
right.
go.
All right.
I'm going.
Let's see if we
Thank
can get
you.
Sean on the phone. He's gonna talk to us.
I saw him
Um,
earlier.
All right. So let me. I guess I can hit that, can't I?
Yep. Speaker.
Speaker.
The speaker.
The speaker. Sorry. Sorry.
Hello.
Hey, Sean.
Hey.
So we've got you on. If you would like to share your experience with us.
I think the one I've had several because of an illness that I have, but the one that was most profound was not related to the illness. I am a ham radio operator, and I used to have a 50-foot plus broadcast tower in my backyard that I had a couple antennas on top of. And when we went to lower it, the rope broke as it was coming down. The thing weighed close to 200 pounds in just ground weight, not to mention the momentum and whatever was it, windage and whatever was in play. When the rope broke that was attached to the winch, I was underneath it, and it came down on top of me. And I had put a 6-foot A-frame ladder at the tip to catch it so I could take the antenna off the top of it, and the A-frame ladder caught it as it fell. But I think, so I wasn't severely injured. That kind of saved me. But what I think was the most profound was there was a point in the midst of it falling that I completely submitted. You know, you kind of release to the fact that you know this is going to be severe. You know that this is probably going to kill you. And you kind of submit to what is occurring in the moment. And that completely submitting and accepting what was happening, I feel brought me closer to, I don't feel like I had the intuition. I don't feel like I had the gut feelings that I do before that happened. I definitely felt a change in the way I approach things and the way that what I feel like I almost caught a spirit guide in the process of all this happening. And like I said, I was lucky. I came out with minor injuries. I had some concussive damage to my head and chest, and I had a hairline fracture in my ankle and some other stuff, but they were all fairly, like I said, minor, and I overcame them within a few weeks. But, you know, in the process, I did not know that this was not going to kill me. I had completely submitted to what was happening, and I think that in itself, that act was what brought me closer. So I'll go ahead and I'll let you have it back, and I'll jump back on the stream, and
Well, I have a couple of questions, if you don't mind.
Okay, go ahead.
So, how did it change your view of other people, or did it? Or your view of the world just in general? Maybe that's a better question.
Well, the care that I received after it happened was really, really poor. So I had a very bitter view for the longest time, but over the extended period, I guess the only thing is that I seem to have a stronger gut feeling about situations and people, and just going to a place with the family or by myself, I can pull up to a place and I get an immediate reaction of just being there. And I don't remember ever having that before.
So a question that I have, if you don't mind, is when you said you submitted, which that's a really good word. That was a really good descriptive word. Did you feel peaceful? I mean, because it's almost as if when you submitted, you were accepting of it. So what did you feel peaceful and just waited?
Yeah, it seems long and drawn out when you describe it, but it happened in such a split second of time, you know. But yeah, my thought was, you know, okay, this is it, you know. It kind of sounds cliche, but that's what I kind of felt like. This is it. This is how it happens. I've had a good life so far, and I'm just going to accept what comes, and hopefully I'm on the other side of this, you know. But yeah, I mean, I was fighting with this large structure, trying to get up underneath it, thinking that I was strong enough to stop it, that I could get out of the way out of it. And then when I realized that I was wrapped up in the physical construction, my leg and knee was wrapped up in the cross hatches of the tower as it came down, because I was trying with my whole body to stop it. And so once I realized that I wasn't going to be able to, it was, yeah, kind of I'm along for the ride.
Well, and like you said, Sean, when we talk about it, you know, we're taking some minutes to talk about it, but you had a split second. And you made that decision in literally just a split second.
Or less, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you, Sean, for sharing your story with us. I'm going to take back all of the mean things that I said about you before
at the beginning.
So, but you guys have fun this evening. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on our next hunt.
All right.
All
Thanks
right.
for calling. I'm glad I was able to at least get in touch with you.
All righty. Thank you.
Thanks, Sean.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So if any of you have any questions, Sean's going to hop back on the stream here. If any of you have any questions for him, just go ahead and toss it in the chat. But yeah, like I said, I was surprised that, which I guess I shouldn't be surprised that so many studies have been done about it. And not surprisingly, psychic abilities are enhanced. Certain psychic abilities are. Now, it makes you wonder, why not communication with the dead? Why not? Why would that not be enhanced? Doesn't it make you wonder?
Yeah, but if you didn't have it before, why would you have it after?
Because you crossed over. Or in Sean's case, you just, you accepted, this is it, this is the end of my life. So
But accepting your own fate, not necessarily anticipating something else to come back and, because you're accepting your own fate that this is it, I'm done, So coming back, I'm not sure that would be the first thing people would want to know. I survived this. Oh, great. Now I hear people. I see people. I see dead people.
I see dead people. Well,
But-
that just surprised me because I would have thought there would have been more of a connection.
But again, it kind of goes back to, I think, in my personal opinion, it goes back to an individual spirituality.
True, because the study you had said that near-death experiences could be positive or negative.
Right, it did. Because they were looking at it strictly from the scientific point of view.
Yeah.
But I think in a lot of cases, that spirituality on yourself, because it made believers out of others that weren't necessarily before, Sean expressed anger for a little bit. So I think it depends on the person themselves on not necessarily having a say what they're able to do or what's enhanced or anything like that. But I think it depends on that person and how they react. Because, we all have free will.
True.
Again, my personal thoughts.
And Linda's comment is you are accepting but not communicating with the other side.
True.
Yeah, I can see that.
Not that we're, ganging up on you. It's just different points of view.
It's just, all
But
right.
again, because it's,
Well, no,
in your case, if something, heaven forbid, would happen to you, it may be more of that spirit, others, that sort of thing enhanced, because that's how you believe in everything now.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I accept things happen, things exist. I'm not.
You don't talk to the dead.
I don't. And I'm okay with that. Let me put that out there.
Michelle does not talk to the dead.
So, I think it
Sure.
really depends on the person.
Well, that makes sense. And
it could even be the experience.
Well, that's true too.
So,
Yeah.
there you go.
So I think we're pretty much all on the same page here.
Yeah.
Pretty much. All
More
right.
or less. Why not?
So I'm going to have Michelle attempt, because we're on my machine. She usually does it on hers. I'm going to have her attempt to pull up our social media so you all know how to find us. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Library, and MeWe under Midwest Ghost Hunters. And you can find us on Facebook, of course, under Just Say Boo, and our website, justsayBoo.com. And I do want to say that we just loaded up on YouTube a new video on Monday. Fairfield Infirmary, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
It was Fairfield Infirmary, which we caught some interesting stuff there. We caught some strange stuff happening with the lights again. I don't know what that's all about, but we've had lighting issues this year more than I think we ever have, with lights going off. Yeah, lights going off and on. I can't explain it. But anyway, if you have not yet, get out there and and take a look at that new video. And I think really that's it. We don't have anything coming up. We are going to go to the Haunted America conference at the end of this month, the end of July.
Yep.
And then in August, Michelle and I are going to take a haunted road trip to Michigan.
Oops.
So, yeah, you can go ahead and flip us back over if you will.
Okay.
Let me get this. We're having all kinds of issues today. We got dogs. We got a husband. We got all kinds of stuff happening here.
Oh, it's Clyde. I thought it was.
It's Clyde.
I thought it was Oliver. I was feeling bad for Oliver. Okay, sorry.
That's all right.
So we do have a lightning round for you.
Okay. All right.
Are we good with that?
Only because Wendy's on a beach somewhere and I don't have her number. We're good with that.
Okay.
All right. Are you guys ready?
Five questions.
Just take a moment. Take a moment. Get your fingers ready.
Yep. They're easy. I'll even talk slower. Lightning round. Marcia.
All I can think of is little old lady. Okay, go ahead. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Lemon cookies or chocolate bar?
Oh, man.
Lightning round.
Chocolate.
Okay. Home cooked meal or dining out?
Home cooked. Chucky cooks wonderfully.
Sweater weather or summer shorts?
Well, I wear a sweater even with my summer shorts. So
Oh. Cooking or cleaning?
I gotta go cleaning every time.
Thunderstorm or thunder snow?
Storm.
Okay, that's it. See? Painless.
Relatively painless. Painless.
I should have saved that first question for last. You were stumped.
Yeah, because they're two of my favorite things: lemon cookies and Hershey bars. So, anything else? Because we're not traveling. My leg is just about, guys. I'm just about there. I'm just about 100%.
Yes. Which we're very glad.
Yes, it's been a long haul. It's been a year. So that's why we're not doing any hunts right now. I think what our next ones are going to be, we're going to do the Granger House and Edinburgh this year. I want to go back to both of those. And I don't have them planned yet, but we're going to go back there because I don't have anything planned because it depends on my leg. But we're doing good. But we are going to do those two hunts this year. And we'll throw in some more because it's just killing me that here we are in the summer and I'm not hunting.
But that's okay because you need to heal.
I do need to heal. And I do have to tell you all about the Boomobile too. So I've had this, I've had the same tires on the Boomobile since 2016, right? And if you guys know us and you follow us, which obviously you do, we just run the wheels off that thing, right? So the last couple of hunts, it was brought to my attention. I already knew it, but it was brought to my attention that my tires were going a little bald, right? So things always happen for a reason, and I believe the universe takes care of us. So I knew I had this pause coming up. So I asked the universe to just let me get through the hunts before I had a flat tire, because the one thing I don't want is a flat tire on the side of the road, even though I do have AAA.
Yep.
And it's
because of being left on the side of
being left on the side of the road in Clarksville, Tennessee, which has absolutely nothing but a 24-hour Shell station. I'm going to tell you that.
Which was sketchy at best.
Yes.
Well, it wasn't. The people around it were.
Yes. So anyway, I talked to the universe and I said, if you could just help me out here because I do need to put 2 new tires on it, but I don't want to do it right now. And Michelle and I went to, where'd we come back from? The depot.
Yes.
We went to the Rock Island Depot, had a great time with
Kat and
Wendy, not Wendy.
No,
Dawn and Christy and Nicole.
Nicole, yes.
And anyway, we had a great time. But, tires were sketchy. Guys, we pulled back in on Sunday afternoon in my driveway. By Sunday night, one of my tires was completely flat. I mean, completely flat. And I'm like, thank you, universe. It still has a flat. I still haven't gotten them fixed, but I'm going to before they go back out. Obviously, I got to. But the Boomobile needs to be cleaned, and it's got a couple of lights that are out. And we're going to do some detailing. We're going to put some red detailing on it so it matches the tow vehicle and do some other things. But anyway, the universe works for you. Just ask. Just ask.
Hey,
So-
you're getting a little pushy here, dude.
All right. So anyway, I think that's it. Besides that story,
Yes, I think that's it.
I think that's it. So until next time, just say boo.